So we're going to take a little look at the different controllers off the Nintendo Switch. So first of all, we have the JoyCons that come with the Nintendo Switch, and that was my attempt at the lame Nintendo click. That go on. Obviously, you can use these independently by themselves. I mean, you will get finger cramps, you will get hand cramps very quickly if you try and use these by themselves. You can use them while you're playing the game, very much like this. You do not require them to be synced. With sliding onto the console, you can play with them independently. You can see them Bluetooth searching there, trying to connect to the console. They come with lovely little shoulder pads, so you can attach these little shoulder pads to your controllers if you so wish, and you can run with them on your console. And they are rumoured to make it to activate the kind of shoulder buttons, make it that a little bit more comfortable. To show the Nintendo Switch JoyCons in comparison to something that I think is kind of interesting is the Apple TV Mote. So if we have a look at that, I would say that they are almost much of a muchness in size, and it's clear that Nintendo, well, they maybe didn't copy the Apple TV Mote, they certainly had a look at the different functionality of it and how it was being used before going for their own version for their little touch tablet. So I'm going to leave that in the corner just to show the varying sizes. The next thing you can do, and it comes with your Nintendo Switch, is you can attach your JoyCons to the JoyCon Grip. You get a charging version of this as well that you can pay for. I have not, because I've not found one yet, and it allows you to have a controller made by Nintendo in a very sort of square look. I find this a lot more awkward than just holding the two JoyCons side by side, but I suppose for somebody with slightly bigger hands than mine, it might actually be a bit more comfortable. Again, size wise, it's considerable. The next thing we will introduce to the mix is we will bring in the Pro Controller, because the Pro Controller is Nintendo's version of a hardcore sort of more pro level player, people who want to spend a bit of time with their console. So the Pro Controllers here, it is fairly weighty, it's a high quality controller, it certainly is possibly one of Nintendo's absolute best controllers. It's very smooth, the buttons have great depression, they have a sort of nice matte finish to them, a sort of anti-greasy feel, and it certainly feels as though it's a very durable games console controller. It is slightly weightier than the DualShock 4, which I'm going to bring in just now, which is PlayStation's controller. My one's a little bit dusty just now, so it's not been in use for a long time since the Switch came along. They are fairly similar in the sense that they both are charged by the console, and they both have the ability to kind of share things and take screenshots. The Nintendo Switch has slightly more buttons than the DualShock 4, but it has its control and its touchpad there, and you can depress it, and it's got its motion control. So there's a little bit more in there, but this one has an RFID reader built in. I don't know if I mentioned that in the previous video, but I wanted to kind of show the different sizes. So we'll move the Pro Controller along, and let's just move the Apple Mote out of the road. So we'll look at the varying sizes of the controllers. So we've got the controllers in view there, and we're kind of seeing from it the difference in size. I mean, there isn't a huge difference, but it's clear to see that Nintendo took some very visual cues from the DualShock 4 and worked out that apparently Sony, since they're sticking with it, come up with a very nice design. They improved upon the one thing that I dislike about the Sony DualShock 4 controller, which is that these are just in the exact same position, and it causes your hands to kind of go back on themselves and kind of cramp because you sit in a sort of pulling back your thumbs position. So I'm incredibly impressed that they've kind of solved that so your thumbs can be at full length, which allows you to not feel that cramp after a longer sort of playing session. Of course, they do warn you shouldn't have longer playing sessions. So that is the various controllers that I have hanging about, and kind of just having a look at the different sizes and the different shapes and the way they feel.